Hello everyone, thank you for following my videos on negotiation. Basic concepts in negotiation include anchor price, BATNA, and SOPA. Let's find out in this video what they are and how they work in negotiation. In this diagram, we will revise four basic concepts: anchor price, deal, BATNA, and SOPA. Before the explanation of each, let's first understand the nomenclature we'll be using. Look the chart and observe in the middle a horizontal line with a currency sign at the right. This means any kind of value. It could be money, but also any other type of value such as more and better quality and convenience, a prompt delivery, or any other thing that adds value to the equation. Line goes from lower, your left, to higher value, the right. Next, identify the places where a letter S is. S stands for seller. Now please do the same with the letter B. It stands for buyer. While doing this, you probably notice there is a letter X on the diagram. X stands for the price of the closing deal. Blue arrows show a direction, while green arrows only intend to point. Arcs show jumps. Vertical dotted lines show limits. Notice you have signs for less than and greater than at the top. Brackets signal a specific space. Now, let's start with the concepts. First, anchor price. Anchor price is your first bet, offer, or proposal. On the diagram, you have at your left the anchor price of the buyer, shown as B1. It is at the left because buyer used to offer a low price. You also have on your right the anchor price of the seller, shown as S1. It is at the right because sellers used to start with a higher price. After the first bet, negotiators jump adjusting their figures depending on counterparts' move. Frequently, buyers jump to the right, offering a little more, while sellers jump to the left, reducing their prices a little, up to the point X where both agree and close the deal. The back and forth between the negotiators that typifies the negotiation itself is called the dance. If B, meaning what buyers offer, is less than S, what sellers want, there is no agreement. Likewise, if S, this is what the seller wants, is greater than B, this is what the buyer offers, there is no agreement. You can see that at the top. The dance begins with anchor prices and ends with a deal or agreement. During the dance, the buyer tries to move price X to the left, meaning less, and seller tries to move price X to the right, meaning more. Blue arrows show you this pushing. Now let's go to BATNA. BATNA stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. BATNA is the best offer but in another table of negotiation. For example, if Jose is buying from Pedro, but Pedro is not giving up easily, the other best option Jose has is to buy from Sofia. Therefore, Sofia's offer is then Jose's BATNA. Now Pedro is trying to sell to Jose. If Jose doesn't want to pay as much as Pedro needs, Pedro must have another client willing to pay what his product is worth. This other best alternative in a different table of negotiation is Pedro's BATNA. Now look the diagram and observe BATNAs are signaled by dotted lines. Pay attention to the B and S of BATNAs close to green arrows. Did you notice B BATNA is at the right while S BATNA is at the left? It should be that way because B BATNA and S BATNA sets limits to the buyer and the seller. It doesn't make sense that Jose pays Pedro more money if there is another seller who charges less. Likewise, it doesn't make sense that Pedro charges less to Jose if there are other clients willing to pay more money for the products. The trouble is when a negotiator, either seller or buyer, doesn't have a BATNA. Keep in mind that BATNA is the best possible outcome if the negotiator negotiates with someone else or goes to court. Indeed, when conflicts occur for violations, and there can be other option, but going to court is the BATNA. Finally, note that at the top of the diagram we have SOPA. SOPA is the zone of potential agreement, the range of possible outcomes that could be acceptable to both negotiators. It is also called the dance floor. It can be limited by BATNAs, as it is signaled on the diagram, or when BATNAs are not known, by anchor prices, just as an approximation to them.